Hello and welcome to another video from Alberta Bushcrafter. Now this is the second in a series of videos on saws, specifically bush saws. And we covered the first one, which is mini saws that you'll find on a multi-tool and so on. This is the second one, and this is a very common type of saw. I call it the folding or sliding pruning saw because that's actually what they're based on. Now you can get a number of saws like this. This is actually an original Fiskars pruning saw. The rubber's a little cracked on it. And you guys know from other videos how much I like Fiskars. But this is generally a good saw. That's a 7-inch blade on there. You can see this one's seen a lot of use. Now, you can start with saws like the Coughlin's Sierra saw and other ones like that. And they're just basic, not very great saws. One of the things about pruning saws as well is the blades. A lot of the other blades are a lot flimsier than this, and I can't justify paying what's up here in Canada $20 for a Coughlin's Sierra saw because I've heard a lot of bad things about them. They tend to loosen or break right here at the nut. The same goes for a number of other saws. I've seen bad reviews on the Gerber exchange blade saw and others of its type. There's a lot. Buck makes one that's average and so on. So actually what I often do in the bush is I will stick with a pruning saw. This is actually a genuine pruning saw. Does a great job. You can actually see down here I've made a little lanyard with a cobra weave. We might see that a little up closer, and I will do a video on how to do these. So that's one. The second one, let's get it open, is the sliding saw. Now this is the Fiskars. Again, this is a 10-inch blade, quite flexible, and it's a longer blade, stores up quite neatly, and it's very, very light. One of the things the only orange bit, which is Fiskars' trademark, is right here on the knob. The Gerber version of this saw does not have that. Again, it's a slightly tighter tooth pattern on this, so it's a slightly it's got more teeth per inch. These might even do for, as long as it doesn't have a little hook over the end, these will actually do for cutting bone and so on as well in a pinch. But this again is a folder and a slider. Now, arguably the best folder I don't have. It's called the Baco Laplander. It's a wonderful saw. I can't find too many suppliers for it up here. But this is another one that was interesting. This is, I actually do some woodworking, so I have some Japanese saws in my shop. This is the Silky Pocket Boy. It's a Japanese folding saw. Originally a pruning saw, but it's got some neat features. This one is the 170. It's a 170 millimeter blade, which is about 6.5 inches. There is a 130 that goes at Mountain Equipment Co-op for about 35 bucks. This I actually got at Lee Valley Tools for 32, so it's a better deal. They do make a 240 mil, which is 8 or 9 inches, and a 300, which is a full 12-inch saw. That thing is big and scary. Now this one of the nice things I like about it is that it comes with a basic little case. It's not waterproof. It's only got a basic little hanger on the side. But it's good. It keeps it from getting messed around in your pack. Now the other nice thing I like about the Silky, I didn't think much of them to begin with, because I found the blades were kind of flimsy, but I learned a bit more about them. Silky, it's about the same length. Sorry. Yeah, it's exactly the same length blade as the Fiskars, but the Silky has a second angle. So this is really good for getting into tight spaces. Now the thing is with this is a very aggressive set on these teeth. This is a Japanese type saw. So they're not meant to cut both ways. They actually only cut on the pull stroke, but boy do they ever do a good job on the pull stroke. They're They're amazing saws. I just got this. I have not tried it out yet. I'm looking forward to it. Let's set it back. So those are the general types of saws. You do get what you pay for. This one, it's about the $20 range. So get this instead of paying 20 bucks for a cheap Sierra saw. This one's about the $25 range. Get it a little bit less on sale at Canadian Tire. Very light. I like this saw. I'll show you one disadvantage with the knob here too. And this again, 35. But this looks to be a very scary saw. This one might actually even give the Baco a run for its money. One thing about the Silky, the blade is very flexible as well, but because this cuts on the pull stroke, it actually stabilizes the blade when you pull it. So being a little more flexible doesn't matter. Plus it's Japanese steel, which is a little different than the other stuff that's in these. So let's give these a test drive. Okay, we're going to try something a little bit different this time. And that is, instead of trying 20 strokes, we're going to see how many strokes it takes to cut through this. This is a 1.5 inch piece of poplar. So, we get a good grip here. Notice I am wearing gloves. I'm going to start with the Fiskars. Now they do say that these are best for hard, dry wood, and I'm seeing that already. See it jump the cut there. Now you want to get the saw to do the work, but this is really not doing the work, is it? There we go. That wasn't so great. That was like about 20 strokes. But you can see if the branch was anchored a little better, it would probably cut a little better. Here is the Fiskars. Let me show you something first. One of the things I don't like about the sliding saw is if that nut comes loose, yeah, it can actually, that's not great, but there we go. It takes a bit, but the whole thing can slide like that. So you want to make sure that nut's in good. That's a decent cut. Now the one I've been looking forward to. Let's try the Silky. Remember, Silky cuts on the pull stroke. Was that 8? That was 8 strokes. Okay, I'm in love. I love this thing. This is a most excellent saw. Wow. Okay, now we've got another one. I'm going to start beside these little cuts here. This is, once again, that big ugly piece of black poplar. Now the directions for these saws, this is the Fiskars, say that they cut best in hard, dry wood. Well, black poplar or cottonwood is technically a hardwood, and this is very dry. So let's see how it does. This is the Fiskars. That was pretty good. Now here's the Fiskars slider. Okay, so that moved a bit. This again, decent saw. However, once again, that nut is moving, so you got to remember to crank it down. And finally, we'll see if this is now my absolute all-time favorite saw, which is getting pretty close. Here's the Silky Pocket Boy 170. Whoops. Okay, it was 12 cuts. Wow. This, sorry, I'll flip this over. This is an incredible saw. This is my new favorite saw, folks. And it's worth the $32.50 I paid for it for certain. Plus it comes with a case. Who can beat that? Alright, well that concludes video number 2 on saws. That would be folders and sliders. Hope this has been instructional for you. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. This is Alberta Bushcrafter. My name's Dean. I want to thank you guys very much for watching, and good day.